I had the perfect life. Everyone said so. I lived in a big white house. It had a wide front porch. My husband Barrett worked in a big office. My daughter Harper went to private school. We had everything. We looked happy. Every morning, I woke up at 6. I made hazelnut coffee. I ironed Barrett's shirts. I checked Harper's schedule. Everything was clean. Everything was organized. Everything felt empty. Barrett wore expensive suits to work. Harper studied hard. I cleaned the house. I went to meetings. I smiled at neighbors. But inside, I felt nothing. I told myself this was happiness. I told myself I was lucky. Tuesday morning started like every other day. I stood in the kitchen. I had a PTA meeting later. I needed to bring cookies. I mixed flour and eggs. I checked the time. My phone buzzed. I looked at the screen. One email. Then another. My hands started to shake. I opened my phone. I saw a PDF file. The title said, "The Truth About Barrett." I clicked on it. My heart beat fast. The file opened. I saw messages, hundreds of messages, between Barrett and another woman. There were photos. There were hotel bills. The words were ugly. The words were dirty. This was not the man I knew. My phone buzzed again. More messages came. Neighbors wrote to me, "Oh, Sloan, are you okay?" But their words felt fake. They were not worried. They wanted drama. They wanted to watch me fall. I could not move. I sat down. The kitchen floor felt cold. My ears rang. I stared at my phone. More messages came. More and more and more. Then Barrett called. I answered. He was shouting. His voice was loud and angry. "This is your fault," he screamed. "You did not protect the account. Some crazy woman hacked my phone." He did not say sorry. He did not ask how I felt. He only worried about his job. He only worried about his reputation. "People saw this," he said. "Fix this. Delete it." I ended the call. I put the phone down. I looked out the window. A yellow school bus passed by. Harper, my daughter, was at school right now. She did not know yet. Soon everyone would know. Soon everyone would talk about our family. Something changed inside me. I did not cry. I felt cold. The perfect life was gone. The fake peace was broken. And I felt relief. I stood up. I walked to the bedroom. I opened the closet. I pulled out a big suitcase. I started to pack my clothes. I packed my shoes. I packed my books. The cookies burned in the oven. I did not care. Barrett called again. I did not answer. The neighbors called. I did not answer. I just packed. One suitcase. Then another. I was leaving. I was done. I looked around the perfect house. The white walls, the clean floors, the expensive furniture. None of it was mine. None of it was real. It was all a lie. I grabbed my car keys. I grabbed my purse. I walked to the front door. I did not look back. The perfect life was over. A new life was starting. And I was ready. I drove to Harper's school. My hands gripped the steering wheel. I signed Harper out early. The secretary looked at me. She knew. Her eyes said it all. Everyone knew now. I did not care. I just wanted my daughter. Harper came to the office. She wore her uniform. She had headphones on. Her face showed nothing. No questions. She just walked beside me. We got in the car. Harper sat in the passenger seat. She stared out the window. I started the engine. My voice was quiet but firm. "We are leaving," I said. "Right now." Harper turned her head. Then she nodded. She did not ask where. She did not ask why. She just nodded. We drove away from that school. We drove away from that neighborhood. We never went back. Barrett came home that evening. The house was empty. The closets were empty. The drawers were empty. On the kitchen table, I left my wedding ring. Next to it was a divorce paper. I printed it in 10 minutes. I signed it. I left it there. I left him there. The next weeks moved fast. Lawyers talked. Papers moved. The house sold quickly. Barrett wanted his money. I wanted my freedom. We split everything. I gave up the White House. I gave up the wide porch. I gave up the dream. I bought an old SUV. It was gray. It was scratched. It was nothing like my old car. But it was mine. I paid cash. I drove it off the lot. Harper sat beside me. We smiled. We found a new home downtown. It was an old apartment building. The building was brick. The paint was peeling. There was no porch. There was no yard. It was small. It was noisy, but it was ours. Our apartment had 2 rooms, 1 small bedroom, 1 tiny living room, a kitchen the size of a closet. The walls were thin. We heard neighbors talk. We heard neighbors fight. We heard music and crying and life. Harper took the bedroom. I took the sofa bed in the living room. Every night I pulled it out. Every morning I folded it up. My back hurt sometimes. But I slept better than before. The space was cramped. My clothes filled 1 small closet. Harper's desk touched her bed. We had 1 bathroom. We shared everything. But something felt different. Something felt lighter. I did not have to clean all day. I did not have to smile at fake friends. I did not have to pretend. The perfect housewife was gone. Just me, just Sloane, just a woman starting over. At night I sat by the window. I looked at the city lights. I thought about that email. I thought about those photos. Someone sent them to everyone. Someone wanted to destroy Barrett. Someone wanted to hurt our family. It must have been her, Barrett's mistress. She was jealous. She was angry. She wanted him all to herself. So she exposed everything. But sitting in that small apartment, I felt something strange. I felt grateful. That crazy woman gave me a reason to leave. That email gave me permission to go. Without it, I might have stayed forever. I might have died slowly in that perfect house. So I thanked her, silently, in my heart. Thank you for setting me free. Harper came out of her room. She stood in the doorway. She watched me. I smiled at her. She almost smiled back. Then she went back inside. We did not talk much, but we were together. And that was enough. The old life was gone. The new life was hard, but it was real, and real was better than perfect. Harper started her new school in September. Every morning she left early. Every afternoon she came home. Then she went straight to her room. She closed the door. She stayed there for hours. I heard her typing, I heard her music, but I never heard her voice. She was so quiet, too quiet. I wanted to talk to her. I wanted to know her day. I made her favorite meals. I cooked pasta with cheese. I baked chocolate cookies. I knocked on her door. Harper, dinner is ready. Okay. She came out. She sat down. She ate quickly. Her eyes stayed on her phone. I asked questions. How was school today? Fine. Did you make any friends? Normal. Do you like your teachers? They are okay. Every answer was short. Every conversation ended fast. Then she went back to her room. The door closed again. The silence returned. I thought she was angry at me. Maybe she blamed me. I broke the family. I left her father. I took her away from her old school, her old friends, her old life. This was all my fault. Or maybe she was ashamed. Everyone at the old school saw those messages, those photos. Everyone knew about her father. Maybe she could not face people. Maybe she hated me for not keeping the secret. I failed her. I was supposed to protect my child. But I could not even talk to her now. The distance between us grew bigger every day. I needed a job. I was 42 years old. I stopped working 15 years ago. When Harper was born, I stayed home. Barrett wanted a perfect wife, a wife who managed the house, a wife who did not work. So I stopped my career. I became invisible. Now I needed money. I sent applications everywhere. Most places never called back. I was too old. I had no recent experience. I had nothing to offer. Finally, a small bakery hired me. The owner was kind. She needed help. The pay was low, but I took it. I needed something, anything. My job was simple. I mixed dough. I shaped bread. I cleaned trays. I wiped counters. My hands got rough. My back hurt. I smelled like flour all day. But I showed up. I worked hard. At the old house, I arranged flowers. I planned parties. I wore nice dresses. Now I wore an apron. I scrubbed pans, but this work was honest. This work was mine. Barrett called sometimes. His voice was cold and mean. You cannot do this alone, he said. You will fail. Come back. I forgive you. I forgive your impulsiveness. He thought he was helping me. He thought I needed him. He thought I would crawl back. He was wrong, but some nights I looked around the tiny apartment. I saw the peeling paint. I heard the neighbors shout. I counted my money. I had so little. Bills came every month. Rent, food, school supplies. Everything cost money. Everything was hard. Could I really do this? Was I strong enough? Maybe Barrett was right. Maybe I would fail. Those nights scared me. I lay on the sofa bed. I stared at the ceiling. I wondered if I made a mistake, If I ruined everything, if I destroyed my daughter's life, one night I could not sleep. I got up. I walked to the window. Then I saw Harper. She was sitting on the tiny balcony. She looked at the city lights. Her face was pale. Her shoulders were small. My heart broke. My daughter was suffering. I needed to comfort her. I needed to be a better mother. I walked toward the balcony door. Then I heard her voice. She was whispering, so quiet, so sad. He deserved it. I stopped. I stood still. My hand was on the door handle. I did not move. I listened. Harper said nothing else. She just sat there. She looked at the lights. Her face showed nothing. I stepped back. I did not open the door. I thought about her words. He deserved it. Who was she talking about? A boy at school? A friend who hurt her? Someone who betrayed her? I did not know. I wanted to ask, but I could not. The wall between us was too high. The silence was too deep. I went back to the sofa bed. I lay down. I thought about Harper. She was carrying something heavy, something painful, and she was carrying it alone, just like I carried my pain alone. In that perfect house, in that perfect life, I was lonely. I was drowning, but I smiled. I pretended. I told no one. Now Harper was doing the same thing. She was hiding. She was silent. She was protecting herself. Or maybe she was protecting me. I wanted to reach her. I wanted to break the silence, but I did not know how. I was afraid. Afraid of her anger. Afraid of her blame. Afraid of losing her completely. So I waited. I hoped. I prayed that one day she would talk to me. That one day we would be close again. That one day the silence would end. But that day felt so far away. 6 months passed. Winter came. The divorce was final. Barrett was gone from my life. But the silence with Harper remained. One Saturday morning, Harper went to school. She had a project meeting. I stayed home. I decided to clean her room. I wanted to help. I wanted to feel useful. I made her bed. I opened her desk drawer. I looked for trash to throw away. That was when I saw it. An old phone. Harper's old iPhone. The one she said was broken last year. It was at the bottom of the drawer, under papers and old notebooks. I picked it up. The screen was black. Maybe it still worked. Maybe there were old photos on it, photos from before, when we were happy, when Harper smiled. I wanted to see those memories. I found a charger. I plugged the phone in. I waited. The screen lit up. The phone turned on. It was not broken. It worked fine. I touched the screen. No password. Harper never locked this phone. I opened it. I went to the photos. I scrolled through them. School pictures, friends, birthdays. Harper looked younger. She looked happy. Then I saw the Notes app. There was one note. The title said, "To Mom, the day we are free." My heart beat fast. I touched the note. It opened. I started to read. "Mom, if you are reading this, it means you found the phone. I am sorry for hiding this. I am sorry for everything. But I am not sorry for what I did." I kept reading. My hand started to shake. It was me. I sent that email. I exposed Dad. I destroyed everything on purpose. I stopped breathing. I read the words again. Harper? My daughter? She exposed Barrett? The note continued. 2 months before that day, I learned Dad's password. He was careless. He left his laptop open. I saw his messages. I saw the photos. I saw the hotels. I felt sick. I wanted to tell you, but I was afraid. My eyes filled with tears. Harper knew. She knew for 2 months. She carried that horrible secret. Alone. She was just 16 years old. I read more messages every day. I saw how Dad talked about you. He was so cruel, so cold. I hated him, but I hated myself more because I could not tell you, because I was a coward. I kept reading. The tears fell down my face. Then I found this message. I took a screenshot. I kept it. It changed everything. Below the words, there was a photo, a screenshot of a chat between Barrett and that woman. I zoomed in. Sloane will never leave me. She is too weak. She is too afraid of hurting Harper. She will swallow the humiliation. She will keep this fake family for the girl. My chest hurt. I could not breathe. Barrett said that. He knew I would suffer in silence. He counted on it. He used me. He used Harper. He thought we were trapped. Below the screenshot, Harper wrote more words. Dad is wrong. Mom is not weak. Mom is strong. Mom is brave. Mom just needs a reason to leave, so I will give Mom that reason. I will blow it all up. I will send everything to everyone, the school parents, the neighbors. Everyone will know. Yes, my friends will laugh at me. Yes, I will lose my reputation. Yes, we will lose the house, but Mom will be free. That is all that matters. I dropped the phone. I sat on Harper's bed. I covered my face. I cried. I cried so hard. My body shook. My heart broke into a million pieces. Harper did this. My quiet daughter, my silent child. She destroyed her own life. She ruined her own reputation. She hurt herself first, all to save me. She knew I would never leave for myself. She knew I would stay in that prison forever. So she burned it down. She gave me no choice. She forced me to be free. I thought about all those months, Harper's silence, her closed door, her short answers. I thought she was angry at me. I thought she blamed me. But she was protecting me. She was carrying the guilt, the shame, the weight of her choice. She saved me, and I never knew. I never thanked her. I never told her she was brave. I never told her I loved her. I just asked about school. I just cooked dinner. I just cleaned the apartment. I picked up the phone again. I read the last lines of the note. Mom, I hope you are happy now. I hope you are free. I hope you know you deserved better. You always deserved better. I love you. I am sorry it had to be this way, but I am not sorry for setting you free. Love, Harper. I held the phone to my chest. I cried until I had no tears left. My daughter, my hero. My brave, beautiful daughter. She carried this burden alone. She sacrificed everything for me, and I never saw it. I was so blind, so worried about the wrong things, so focused on my own guilt. I never looked deep enough. I never saw her pain. I never saw her love. But now I knew. Now I understood. The silence made sense. The distance made sense. Harper was not angry. She was not ashamed. She was protecting me from the truth. She was giving me time to heal. Before I learned what she did, before I learned the price she paid, I sat in that small room. I held that old phone, and I knew everything had changed. The story I told myself for 6 months was wrong. The grateful feelings for that crazy woman were wrong. There was no crazy woman. There was only Harper, my daughter, my savior. I heard the front door open. Harper was home. She came home early. I stood up. I walked out of her room. I held the phone in my hand. Harper saw me. She saw the phone. Her face went white. Her eyes went wide. She froze. She looked like a scared child. I walked toward her. She stepped back. She waited. She waited for me to scream, to blame her, to hate her. But I did not scream. I did not blame. I just walked to her, and I wrapped my arms around her. I held her tight. I held her like I should have held her 6 months ago. And finally, the silence broke. I held Harper tight. She stood stiff in my arms. She did not move. She did not hug me back. She just stood there, like a statue, like she was afraid to breathe. I pulled back. I looked at her face. Her eyes were red. Her lips trembled. She looked at the old phone on the table. Then she looked at me. She waited for me to speak. She waited for me to yell. She waited for punishment. But I did not yell. I did not blame her. Not as a child, but as a young woman, a brave young woman, the bravest person I ever knew. I took her hands in mine. They were cold. They were shaking. I spoke softly. Harper, I read your note. She closed her eyes. A tear rolled down her cheek. I am sorry, she whispered. I am so sorry, Mom. No. I shook my head. Do not say sorry. You saved me. She opened her eyes. She looked confused. More tears fell. But I ruined everything. I destroyed our family. Everyone saw those messages. Everyone talked about us. I made your life harder. I pulled her close again. I hugged her tighter. You gave me my life back. You set me free. I should have been the one to protect you. But you protected me instead. Harper started to cry. Really cry. Not silent tears. Not quiet sobs. She cried loud. She cried hard. The cold shell around her broke. She cried like a little girl, like a 5-year-old child. She held on to me. She shook in my arms. I was so scared, she said between sobs. I was scared you would stay forever. I was scared you would die slowly in that house. I was scared Dad would kill your spirit. I could not watch it anymore. I could not do nothing. My heart broke again. But this time, it broke open. All the pain came out. All the love came out. I cried too. We cried together. In that tiny apartment, in that cramped space, we held each other. We finally let everything out. You were 16 years old, I said. You were just a child. You should not have carried that burden. You should not have seen those horrible things. I should have known sooner. I should have protected you. I am so sorry, Harper. I am so sorry. We sank to the floor. We sat there, holding each other. The sun went down outside. But we did not move. We just sat. We just held on. I read his messages for 2 months, Harper said quietly. Every day I felt sick. Every day I wanted to tell you. What if you did not believe me? What if you chose him over me? What if you stayed anyway? I would have believed you, I said. I would have chosen you, always. But you would not have left, Harper said. Not for yourself. You would have stayed for me, to keep the family together. To give me a normal life. I know you. Mom, you would have suffered in silence, just like you did for 15 years. She was right. I knew she was right. If Harper told me the truth, I would have confronted Barrett. He would have begged. He would have promised to change, and I would have stayed for Harper, to protect her from a broken home, to give her stability, to be the perfect mother. But that would have been wrong. Staying would have killed me, slowly, day by day, and Harper would have watched. She would have seen me disappear. She would have lost her mother anyway. You were braver than me, I said. You did what I could not do. You made the hard choice. You sacrificed your reputation, your school, your friends. You did it all for me. Harper wiped her eyes. I would do it again. 1,000 times. You deserved to be free. You deserved to be happy. You deserved a real life. I touched her face. I looked into her eyes. I love you. I am proud of you. You are the strongest person I know. We sat on that floor for a long time. We talked about everything, about Barrett, about the messages, about the email, about the 6 months of silence. Harper told me everything. I listened. I held her hand. I did not interrupt. She told me how she learned the password, how she found the messages, how she felt when she read them, how she took the screenshots, how she made the PDF file, how she sent it to everyone, how she watched the chaos unfold, how she felt guilty, how she felt relieved, how she felt scared, how she felt alone. And I told her my story. I told her about the perfect house, about the fake smiles, about the empty mornings, about the loneliness, about the fear, about the relief when the email came, about the guilt I felt, about the struggle to survive, about the nights I wanted to give up. We shared everything. No more secrets, no more silence, just truth, just love, just us. The room was completely dark now. We turned on a lamp. We sat on the sofa together. Harper leaned her head on my shoulder. I held her close. Mom, she said, are you happy now? I thought about the question. The low-paying job, the struggle, the hard days, the uncertain future. Then I thought about the freedom, the honesty, the peace, the real life. Yes, I said, I am happy. Are you? Harper nodded. I like us better now. Me too. I realized something in that moment. The day I started over was not the day I left Barrett. It was not the day I signed the divorce papers. It was not the day I moved to this apartment. It was today. When I finally understood my daughter's heart, when I finally became a real mother, not the perfect mother who baked cookies, not the quiet mother who kept peace, but the mother who listened, who understood, who saw her child for who she really was. Harper saved me once. Now it was my turn. My turn to protect her. My turn to be strong. My turn to be the mother she deserved. We sat together in the warm light, mother and daughter. No more walls, no more silence, just love, just truth, just us. And that was enough. That was everything. 1 year passed. Everything changed. I still work at the bakery, but now I am the manager. The owner promoted me last month. I arrive early. I train new workers. I order supplies. I count money. I make decisions. The work is mine. The success is mine. Every morning I drive my old gray SUV to work. I roll the windows down. The wind blows through my hair. My hair has gray strands now. I do not dye them anymore. I like them. They show my story. They show I survived. I look in the mirror sometimes. I see a different woman, not the invisible wife, not the perfect housewife. Just me, Sloane, 43 years old, strong, free, real. I love this woman. I finally love myself. Barrett married that woman, his mistress. I heard they live in my old white house now. She has the wide porch. She has the perfect life. She thinks she won. I do not feel jealous. I feel sorry for her. She does not know yet. That house is a prison. That man is cold. That perfect life is empty. One day, she will learn. One day, she will want to escape. I hope she finds the courage I did not have. But that is her story now, not mine. Harper is 17 now. She is in her senior year. She applied to colleges. She got accepted to 3 good schools. She smiles more now. She laughs. She talks. The silence is gone. We have a new tradition. Every Friday night, we make pizza together. We buy dough from my bakery. We add tomatoes and cheese. We put on whatever we want. Pineapple, olives, everything. We make it together. Then we watch bad movies. The kind with terrible acting and silly plots. We laugh at them. We make jokes. We throw popcorn at the screen. We stay up late. We are happy. Last Friday, Harper looked at me. We were eating pizza on the sofa. An old comedy played on TV. She smiled. "Mom," she said, "I like us better now." I put down my pizza. I looked at her. "Me too," I said. And I meant it. I meant every word. This small apartment is better than that big house. This simple life is better than that perfect life. This honest love is better than that fake peace. We lost the porch. We lost the fancy cars. We lost the big closets and the expensive furniture. But we found something more important. We found each other. We found truth. We found freedom. This morning I looked in the mirror before work. I saw my reflection. Gray hair. Lines around my eyes. Rough hands from work, but I smiled. I liked what I saw. I am not the invisible wife anymore. I am not the woman who lived for others. I am the woman saved by her daughter, and now I live to be worthy of that sacrifice. Harper gave me a second chance. She burned down the old world. She pulled me out of the ashes. She showed me I was worth saving. She showed me I was strong. Now I show her the same thing every day. I show her that her sacrifice was not in vain. I show her that I am happy. I show her that freedom is worth the struggle. I show her that we made the right choice. Sometimes people ask me about my story. They ask how I started over. They want advice. They want a plan. They want steps to follow. I tell them the truth. Sometimes you do not need a perfect plan. Sometimes you just need one person who loves you enough, one person brave enough to burn down the old world, one person strong enough to pull you out. For me, that person was my daughter. She was 16 years old. She carried a terrible secret. She made an impossible choice. She saved my life. I will spend the rest of my life being worthy of that gift. I will live fully. I will love deeply. I will be free. I will be real. I will be me. That is my promise to Harper. That is my promise to myself. The old life is gone. The new life is here, and I am finally, truly alive.